Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? It is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. My name is Stacy Niedenthal. This is Connecting to Spirit with Stacy, where I come to you every Tuesday morning at 10:30 and talk to you about grief. I talk to you about meditation, death and dying, wholeness, coming back home, things that maybe you're not comfortable talking about with other people. Every Tuesday we come and we sit and we talk about it. So let me know if you're on. Hi, Scott. Hi, Tammy. Just say hi so that I know that you're here. Today, we're going to talk about what's contagious for 200, Alex. So I always like to start with my intentions. I just want to see if I'm getting any comments yet. Let me know if you're here. Say hi. So my intention is, my name is Stacy. I am a child of God. I'm a psychic medium and a spiritual healer. And I've been given a gift from God to channel spirit using love and light for my higher good and the higher good of those that God puts in my path. I'm not the medium that says I see death all around you and you're going to be dead in 10 days. My gift, my prayer is that God, that spirit, that angels bring in the most loving message to help your spirit heal. If you are having a session with me, this is part of the intention that you would hear. I always like to start Tuesday Talks at 10:30 with that. It's kind of my light switch on that lets my guides, my angels know that I am open and ready to receive and to listen. So hello, good morning, Tuesday, middle of March. So spring is coming, but it's really cold out today. But hey, we've got longer daylight now that the clocks have changed. Spring's on the way. I'm excited about that. So hello, Regina. Hello, Julie. Hi, Noreen. Yeah, I'm not, okay. So I'm not seeing comments, but I can see them on here. Good morning. Good morning. So I wanted to talk today about what's contagious for 200, Alex. We have been in a world of late, for the past couple years, it's kind of calming down a little bit, about things that are contagious. And it's always been in this negative way, of this fearful way, things that are contagious. So I wanted to talk to you. Hi, Kim. I wanted to talk to you today about things that are contagious that are good. I remember a couple years ago, good grief. Seems like a couple years ago, in 9th grade, we went to California for a family vacation, and we went to the J. Paul Getty Museum. And the museum is absolutely beautiful. I would probably appreciate it more now than I did in 9th grade. But there was this painting that we went by, and this painting showed a person yawning. And I kind of laughed to myself because everybody that went by yawned. And even me, like, talking about it, I feel like I need to yawn. And I don't know if that's how you're feeling as well. But there's contagious things that are out there that aren't in a negative manner. So that's what we're going to talk about. So something for you to ponder about. And I read this, and I thought it was very interesting. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Mary Jo. Sorry for keep looking down. My comments aren't showing up here, so I'll have to look down here. But something for you to ponder about. And this is a quote. It didn't have the author of it, but I thought it was interesting. Sometimes the happiest people struggle the most. Sometimes the ones who always have a smile on their face are the ones that are faking it the most. Be kind always. You never know what people are dealing with. Be patient. You never know the struggle and the turmoil in their mind. Be encouraging. You never know the amount of, Be encouraging. You never know how they question themselves over and over and over again. It's not your plan to judge. It's not your place to judge. It's your place to uplift and support. Don't be the reason someone is struggling, doubting, or hating themselves. Be the reason that they smile. Be the reason they have hope. Be the reason that they keep pushing. Although it is not your responsibility for others' mental health struggles, it is your responsibility not to cause them either. So, people, some people say that I'm too nice, and maybe I am, but I did my best to be patient, kind, and encouraging and uplifting. So when I read that, I felt the emotion behind it. I felt that struggle behind it. Because if you feel like you're being judged, if you feel like someone is not talking to you correctly, you have a reaction to that. If someone smiles at you, you smile back. So what do we want to be contagious? Do we want smiles to be contagious, or do we want anger to be contagious? We all have different situations in our lives that everybody doesn't know about. We all have struggles, we all have triumphs, we all have victories, but we all have these deep things within us as well that hold us back. So what are we showing on the outside? Are we showing the struggle, or are we smiling and faking it, as the quote went? So it's important that when you don't know what someone else is going through, to not sit in judgment of them. It's important that you try to spread love, kindness, and being patient with others. And the reason for me that it's important is because this is contagious. If you show love and support to someone, they learn something, and then they are able to show that love and support to someone. And there are tendencies that we have that we react without even realizing that we react. Some things are in our control, some things are not. But if you start to pay attention to what, like, your facial expressions are, or your tone in your voice, that will make a big difference. Now, I know we don't all fart butterflies, and, it's not always tra-la-la-la-la, and we have to have hard conversations with people. We have to have those conversations where, maybe we don't want to have, but there's a right way to have the conversations and there's a wrong way to have the conversation. If you do it in the most loving way, then you have shown empathy, you have shown compassion, and you have shown what your truth is. If you do this in a negative way and you just say, oh my gosh, just get away from me, doesn't really help the other person because they don't know what's going on. And when I first read that quote in the beginning, where, those who smile are the ones that are faking it the most, those who are spreading joy, you don't know what the struggles are that they're going through. When you think about things that are out of your control, and the first one that came to mind for me was road rage. Someone speeds past you, cuts you off, jumps over onto an exit, and just flies down the road. Are you the person that speeds up so they can't cut you off, that you're tailing them, that you're following them, that your hands are flailing, that you're arguing with them and yelling in your car by yourself? Guess what? That person can't hear you. They have no idea what you're saying. Instead, be that person that thinks to yourself, whew, I hope that person makes it to the place that they're going to okay. Maybe they're speeding off to a hospital to say their last goodbyes to someone, and they're in a hurry to get there. Maybe that person is a jerk, whatever. But if you say, I pray for them to have safety to go to the place that they need to be, then you're spreading light, you're spreading energy to them, that maybe they'll look down at their speedometer and go, ooh, I'm going a little fast, maybe I need to back it down. So there are things that are contagious as well that the other person doesn't even know. Prayer is very contagious because you send prayer, you send light, you send energy to someone else. And they may not know who's sending that, but all of a sudden they're like, ooh, all of a sudden that anger, that fear, that frustration has left me. So, let me get to my next train of thought here. So if you take that time to pray, if you take that time to send good energy to someone, it doesn't take any time out of your day. You're in the car, you're angry because this person cut you off. Stop for a minute, breathe, and instead of yelling and throwing your arms up in the air, throw your arms up in the air and say, Lord, be with them. Bring them safety. Allow them to reach their destination safely. When I think about things that are contagious, I think about, like I said, yawning, smiling, being nice. Have you ever gotten a call late at night and everybody in the house is sleeping except for you? And when you pick up the phone, you're whispering, hello. The other person on the other line, 9 chances out of 10 will go, hey, how you doing? They'll whisper too. Whispering is contagious. Yelling is contagious. Sending love out to other people is contagious. I remember one time I was, how do I say this? I was training a sales rep, and we went into one of our businesses, and I was talking to this one gentleman about different things, and we got to talking about missionary work and spreading the gospel. We got to talking about all these different things, and I could feel like the passion in my voice growing, and I could hear it from him as well. And when we got in the car, the sales rep said to me, I want what you have. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I could feel that you were so compassionate about helping others. I want that. And we talked for a while about certain things, and I was able to share things with her in my life that as a manager probably wasn't the best idea to share it, but as a human being, it was the best idea to share it. So it's what's contagious. What are you showing? How are you presenting yourself to the world? And you're going to have bad days. I'm not saying that you have to be Johnny Sunshine every single day. We have bad days, but recognize those bad days and turn them around. It's lifting people up. Someone comes to you with an idea of what they want to do with their life, or an invention, or, oh my gosh, I just thought about this. Are you the person that says, wow, that sounds really cool, tell me more? Or are you the person that says, that'll never work? Are you kidding me? You're not going to do that. You give up and quit every single thing that you do. Which one are you? Are you the one that raises them up? Because if you have that enthusiasm behind your voice where you're saying, oh my gosh, tell me more, that's what's contagious. That'll allow this person to express their emotions and their ideas and for it to grow. Instead of going, they've got this big balloon and you pop their balloon because you're like, you quit every single thing that you start. Why are you even trying? So what I'm asking is the things that need to be contagious that are around you are uplifting thoughts. It's smiling. It's sending love out to others. It's helping other people. It's doing the things that are right. We are living in fear, and it pisses me off that we live in fear. And we live in fear because we listen to what the news is telling us. We listen to things that are around us. And when we listen to that and we think about that, don't you know that your thoughts will materialize? You can bring on things in your life by thinking about them, by worrying about them. Good morning, PJ. So I'm asking you to change your thought process. I'm asking you to be contagious for the positive things, to education. Oh my gosh, how contagious is education? When I get a thought in my head of something that I want to learn about, I research it, I buy all these books about it, I read about it, I just, to me, knowledge is contagious. And then sharing that knowledge with other people. When I do Tuesday Talks at 10:30, most of the time, I don't even know what the heck I'm going to talk about. Monday night, I pray about it, I meditate about it, and I get an idea, and I get a thought, and it's guided, and it's just given to me. I don't want to question how it's given to me. I'm just thankful that it is given to me. Well, yesterday was my massage day. I had a massage, and I was like a rag doll all day. After that, I just, took a nap in the afternoon, went to bed early, did not write Tuesday Talks at 10:30. got up this morning and I read that quote that I just read to you all about you never know what people are going through, and thought, oh, this is something that would be really good to talk about. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, yawns are contagious. And it just falls into place of things that I need to talk to you about. And whether it means something to you now or later, I want it to be contagious because I want you to think to yourself, oh my goodness, I'm having a bad day. What did Stacy say on Tuesday Talks at 10:30? I need to smile. I need to share sunshine. I need to be positive. And in this quote that I read, at the end it said, some people say that I'm too nice. Jeff always gives me a rough time that I'm too positive. He'll always say, oh my gosh, do you have to be positive all the time? Well, yes, I do. There's always a positive in every single situation. Sometimes I struggle to find that positive, but it's always there. And I feel as if I can show positive light in all different situations, that would be contagious to those who are around me that see it, to my kids, to my grandkids, to my clients. Positive thoughts breed positive actions, breed positive life. So what's contagious in your life? What do you want to be contagious? Do you want anger, frustration, jealousy? Do you want those things to be contagious around you? Or do you want the lighter side? Do you want to spread happiness? Do you want to spread joy, compassion, lifting people up instead of pulling them down? So, another quote that I had read by Elizabeth Gilbert: how you behave matters, because within human society, everything is contagious. That's where I got the contagious. Sadness and anger, but also patience and generosity, which means we all have more influence over others than what we realize. So, if you see a child throwing a temper tantrum in a store, what's your instant reaction? Oh, that's not what that's not what my kids would do. That's not this, that's not that. You instantly throw judgment instead of thinking, man, that poor mom, I'm going to send her love and light. And whatever is going on with that child, I pray that he calms down, or I pray that she calms down and finds peace. Prayer is one of the most contagious things that's out there. If you pray for others, you're sending positive light. You're in that one moment in space, in that one time in space, you're pausing for a moment, calling attention to this particular person, to this particular situation. You're holding space for them. You're surrounding them in love. You're surrounding them in God's guidance. And you're asking for help, for guidance, for healing for this person. You're taking the time to do this. That's what needs to be contagious. Taking the time to hold space for other people. Hi, Serenity. Good morning, Heidi. So I'm hoping that this makes sense to you. There are different things in the world that are contagious. Do you choose to have fear be contagious? Or do you choose to, do I talk about that? Or do you choose to have love be contagious? You have a choice. And it's, like I said, it's not always going to be easy. You're going to have bad days. But if you start to recognize when your emotions on the outside are showing a part of you that you don't necessarily want to show, it's time to be that person who smiles, who stops for a minute and says, Lord, you got to help me get through this. Not sure how I'm going to make it through this day, but you got to help me get through this, because I don't want my bad mood. I don't want my bad thoughts to leak over onto someone else. So when you think about that last quote that I read, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. How you behave matters, because with human society, everything is contagious. Sadness and anger, Yes, but also patience and generosity, which means we all have more influence than we realize. So our actions, our words, our plan affects others. And you've all heard about the butterfly effect. You've all heard about the ripple effect. You know, I've talked about that several times, where you could be at a lake or a pond and it's just as smooth as ice and or as glass, whatever. And all of a sudden you pick up a small pebble and you throw it in the water. That it ripples out. It affects when that molecule, when that stone goes down, it breaks things up so that things grow and come out. We're the same way. If I say, rumors are like that. Oh my gosh. If I say something to someone in a negative light about someone, they're going to tell someone else. And then they're going to tell someone else. And it's going to continue to grow. And as it grows, it changes. If I say something positive to someone about someone, usually doesn't go as far. Why is that? Because there's no juicy gossip with it. So I'm challenging you to spread positive things about people. I'm challenging you to look at the positive, challenging you to smile at others. I'm challenging you to uplift others and not to stand in judgment of others. And these are all those things when you think about judgment and anger or jealousy, or, you know, when you think about all those negative responses, they come so easily. You know, somebody does something, you instantly like roll your eyes and turn your head. And you don't even always realize that you're doing it. When you notice that you did that, stop for a minute and look back, you know, look at that person back in the eyes. I'm sorry I did that. Go on, talk to me about what you were talking about. You know, trying not to stand in judgment of others. It's so important. You know, when you stand in judgment, you're just saying, I'm shutting the door to any of your thoughts, any of your experiences that you may have that might help me to grow. Why shut the door? Learn from other people. You may not agree with what they're talking about. You may not agree with what they're doing. But, you know, there's a reason why they're doing it. Allow their experience to be contagious to the others, to other like-minded people. You know how many, negative comments in Messenger that I receive because of what I do? I can't let that affect me. All I can do is say, I'm not for everybody. Because for as many negative comments as I get positive ones as well, or people asking me for help. My prayer is that God puts people in my path that either I can help or that can help me to grow. So that's where I want to be contagious, in helping those who God puts in my path to grow and to help. You know, there's 15 people right now on Tuesday Talks at 10:30. If I were a shock jock, if I were talking about the negative things that were going on in this world, who knows? I might have 100,000 people on here because I'm talking about the negativity of the world. But when you talk about the positivity of the world, not everybody jumps in. Doesn't matter to me. The people who are on that I can positively affect or give some ideas to, that's all I care about. And if you want to share this video with others, great. If you don't, that's fine. But I'm asking you to look at what you are spreading to the world. Are you infectious or are you positive? Are you a fungus or are you blossoming? Interesting things to ponder, right? Interesting things. I want to go back to this first quote, if I can, that I started with, just to kind of read it to you again, that it says, sometimes the happiest people struggle the most. Sometimes the happiest people struggle the most. Makes sense. Because they've learned, they've struggled, they want to be positive, they want changes in their life. Sometimes ones who always have a smile on their face are the ones who are faking it. People who go through depression, they can't explain their anxiety and their depression to others. They don't want it to be of face value. What is face value is they're smiling, but inside their skin may be crawling. Be kind always. You never know what someone's dealing with. Be patient. You never know the struggle or the turmoil of their mind. I was at the bank the other day, yesterday, and there was a little bit of a line. So instantly when there's a little bit of a line, you're like, oh my gosh, right? So instantly you get this. So I had to just kind of take a deep breath and be like, well, the woman who was at the teller could not understand why her PIN number was not working. And I'll bet you she was there, oh my gosh, 10 minutes at least, talking about different things. And the teller behind the plastic screen was so patient with this woman and said to her, would you like to make an appointment with someone so that they can show you how to do everything? Because here's someone who wasn't exactly understanding the whole dynamic of, you know how every, 3 years or whatever, the bank says you have to change your PIN number, or once a year or whatever. And if you don't change it, then your old PIN no longer works. This is kind of what I was getting was happening for this woman. Now, this teller could have been angry or obnoxious to this client, to this woman. And the woman just kept talking about different things. And then she started talking about her mortgage that was on, automatic withdrawal. And she needed, that not to be this month because she had other things that were going on. And God bless the teller that was behind the counter. And she just kind of like, I don't completely understand where the problem is here. But I feel as if we set up an appointment with someone that we could take you back into the office and show you on the computer what's going on and show you how to do these things. I think that would help you a lot instead of, because she couldn't turn her computer around and, there were other people in line. And the woman finally was like, yeah, okay, I'll have an appointment. I'll take an appointment. How many times have you ever seen a situation like that where the clerk or the teller gets obnoxious with the client, or the client gets obnoxious with them? But that was not the case here. The woman clearly was not understanding all the electronics and everything, all the different changes. And the teller was very empathetic to her, continued to smile, even though every once in a while, the teller would look back at the people in line like, I'm trying, she kept that smile. That was to me, that was contagious, because here's a woman who was struggling with understanding. And instead of going, well, there's nothing I can do to help you, you just need to go home on your laptop or go home and do this, can I set an appointment with someone that can take you into the office that show you? Bravo. She was lifting this woman up. She saw the problem, didn't completely understand the problem, or maybe she did understand the problem, because I feel like everybody in line understood the problem that this client was having. But it was not the right area to be discussing it. The teller obviously doesn't want to give out the woman's PIN number in front of other people who were there. There's some privacy there. So she was using that. Where was I going? Oh, be kind always. You never know what people are struggling with or dealing with. So this woman kept her kindness up. Be patient. Good grief. This clerk was so patient with this woman. You never know the struggle or the turmoil of the mind. The turmoil of the client's mind was she didn't understand. She didn't. And there's a lot of electronics and a lot of computer stuff that I don't understand, and then I get all anxious about it. I would rather pay a bill by check than have it automatically withdrawn from my checking account or go online to pay it. To me, automatic withdrawals, going online to pay it, it's intimidating. I'm still old school. Let me write you a check. Okay? I'll call you with my credit card number. I'll go that far. But going online to do that, it's too intimidating. So that's turmoil in my mind. Be encouraging. You never know the amount one questions themselves over and over and over. So, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. We all have doubt. We all question our ability to do the right thing, to think right, to make the right decisions. How do I be successful? How do I not be a failure? How do I show people around me that I am good enough? How do I, we're always trying to show and be sometimes things that we're not. So, be patient, because we don't know how much that person is questioning themselves. It's not your place to judge. It's your place to lift and support. God says the greatest commandment of all is to love one another. So if I'm loving one another, I'm not standing in judgment of you. I may not agree with what you do, but I'm not going to dislike you because what you do. I may not hang out with you. Okay? Don't be the reason someone is struggling, doubting, or hating themselves. Don't be the reason someone is struggling, doubting, or hating themselves. You've had friends, maybe this has happened to yourself, where someone says to you, oh my God, you're an idiot. You're worthless. I can't believe you're so stupid. Like, no, I'm not. Stop saying that. Don't be that person who says those things. Be the reason they smile. Be the reason they keep pushing forward. Although it is not your responsibility for other people's mental health struggles. So if they're dealing with depression, if they're dealing with anxiety, that is not your responsibility of why that's going on. It is your responsibility not to cause them more stress as well. Some people say, I'm too nice. This is what we were talking about earlier. And maybe I am. I did my best to be patient, kind, and courageous and uplifting. So at the end of the day, if you can say, I've done my best today to be kind, encouraging, and uplifting, then you've done what you're responsible for in the eyes of other people. Have what is contagious about you: kindness, encouraging, uplifting. Have that be what you spread to others, instead of talking out of one side of your mouth and talking out of the other side of the mouth and spreading rumors and being mean and being, you know what I'm saying? Live that. Be that. And if you struggle with it, it takes practice. You can't always be perfect with it every day. Like I said, we don't all fart butterflies and unicorns and lollipops. Sometimes the things that come out of my mouth, I think, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. But it is saying to yourself, okay, screwed up there. My mind just thought about this. Why am I thinking about that? It's not my business, right? Uplifting others, saving space for them in prayer. That's what it's about. That's what I want you to spread around the world. Instead of fear, anger, hate, frustration, closed-mindedness, things like that. Right now we live in a world where people are afraid to say anything to anyone because someone will get offended. Well, if you say those things that you need to say in love, uplifting, non-judgmental, if someone gets offended by that, then the issue is with them. The issue is not with you. I say my piece. I try and say it as lovingly as possible. And sometimes it still offends others. The issue then is not with me. The issue is with you. I struck a nerve with you for some reason. There's something that you need to ponder and think about. Make sense? So, that is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I'll take Contagious for 200. Alex, I just thought that was kind of cute when that one quote, that's exactly what hit me. The last quote that I talked about that said, oh shoot, by Elizabeth Gilbert, how you behave matters, because within society, everything is contagious. So, what do you want to spread? Where do you want to see our world? When I think about the world that we live in now and where it's going, I am concerned about my grandchildren and their children and their children. So my job now is to spread positive prayers for the world around us, so that there's clarity of thought, so that there is help for the helpless, that there is hope for the hopeless, that there is love for the ones who don't feel love, that there are answers for everything if we're just patient enough to look for those answers and not just spew off at the mouth of anything that comes. Not be offended so quickly about every single thing in the world. Right now, being offended about things is what's contagious. You know, our words matter. And how you behave, what you say, matters to human society, because everything is contagious. So that is my Tuesday Talks at 10:30. My name is Stacy Niedenthal. Thank you also very much for joining me. I will be back next Tuesday at 10:30. If there's a particular subject you would like me to talk about, you know, put it in the comments or private message me about it. If you are interested in, Tammy says, thank you, beautiful friend. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning. I miss your face, Tammy. We have to get together and sit down and chit chat. We talked about doing that, I think, last year, and we never did it. So we need to do that. But you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Spread those positive vibes, spread prayer, uplift other people, and be there for them. So Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I pray that you all are living the life you love. You're loving the life you live. If not, you're the only one that can change it. Think about what you're spreading. Think about what are you catching? You know, what's contagious? What's hitting you? So I will talk to you next week at 10:30. Peace out. I love you all. Have a great and wonderful windy day, and we'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.